Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Alyssa Paldo. A local family is taking action against the Metamora School District, claiming school officials did not do their job properly when a student received a video containing racial slurs in it. Back in September, a group of students made that video, which went viral. The video was sent to a black freshman football player. His family lodged complaints and the district held a town hall. But the family says it wasn't enough. The family has now filed a lawsuit in federal court. The suit accuses school board members, the superintendent, the principal, assistant principal, and head football coach of negligence. School leaders say they suspended students involved in making the video for 2 football games, but the family says the district fostered a culture of hate, which continues. The lawsuit claims, quote, the defendants have repeatedly refused to investigate allegations of bullying and have failed to take appropriate action to deter students from bullying on the basis of race and other legally protected categories. Moreover, the defendants' actions and lack thereof allowed and encouraged a climate to flourish in which students were frequently bullied, harassed, and victimized, and in which students were emboldened to retaliate against anyone who reported incidents of racism, bullying, and harassment. Now, attorney Nina Gujas says the victim's family is taking the next logical step.
To have this go on, to try to address it with school officials, there has to be that feeling that school officials have really dropped the ball in this and have really breached their trust. So it's extremely disappointing.
The Metamora School District released a statement to WMBD saying, quote, MTHS takes claims of bullying and discrimination very seriously. MTHS has and always will continue to fully investigate and review any claim of bullying or discrimination while taking appropriate action to address all such claims. District leaders say they strongly disagree with the claims in the lawsuit. Meantime, leaders in Peoria County come together to discuss ways of keeping schools safer. Regional Superintendent Beth Derry invited members from law enforcement, school districts, and government to emphasize the importance of communication with one another. In the aftermath of the Parkland, Florida shooting, administrators are stressing to everyone, if they see something, say something to improve security. Derry hopes to introduce threat assessment teams into schools.
You hear a threat. Somebody does say something. What do you do next? You need to be able to have a team to come together that looks at that threat, does the research, does the deep dive, does that student have access to firearms? Have they had a mental health trauma in their background? That can look at all of that information to determine if the threat was real or not.
Peoria County Sheriff Brian Asbell was at that summit. He says he doesn't support arming teachers with firearms. He says properly trained security should be on hand so teachers can concentrate on teaching. Leaders in Peoria County discussed a proposal by Mayor Jim Ardis to stop people under 21 from buying tobacco products. At the Liquor Commission meeting, they recommended drafting an ordinance to raise the age to buy cigarettes to 21 years old. Mayor Ardis says while some kids will still get their older friends to buy them cigarettes, his plan could limit the amount of young smokers.
The 37+ percentage point drop in teen smoking rates in cities like Evanston and Chicago that implemented in 2015 really show that kids are stopping smoking. They're not just going elsewhere to get their tobacco. So yeah, no, we believe that this is an extremely effective way to save lives.
According to the American Heart Association, 1 of every 3 young smokers will eventually die of a smoking-related illness or disease. Opponents to the policy say kids will just go outside the city to buy them, making the move non-business friendly. Well, a story from our Twin Cities newsroom. The Normal Town Council approves the fiscal year 2019 budget. 24 jobs will be cut and water and garbage fees are going up. Some residents expressed concerns over the proposed financial fixes.
These actions are the same old temporary reactionary budget band-aids that we see year after year and time after time. To keep doing the same thing and expect a different outcome is one definition of insanity.
The leaders say the raising of some rates and the cutting of positions are partly due to an increase in payments to the state and a decrease in local workforce. Though it wasn't discussed during the meeting, closing the Normal Police substation was also in the plan. The council discussed whether to raise the water rate by 2% or put the discussion on hold for a year.
I just think now is the time to do it, and it's the best move, both for for the town and for those those homeowners that receive that bill every month.
The leaders approved the water rate increase, changing the town's billing cycle from bi-monthly to monthly, and also raised garbage collection fees from $18 to $24 a month starting April 1st. Lawmakers again meet to discuss the deadly Legionnaires outbreak at the Illinois Veterans Home in Quincy. 13 veterans have died from complications of Legionnaires, and dozens more have become sick since 2015. As leaders continue to criticize the Department of Public Health, a new report suggests tearing down several buildings on the campus. There are also claims officials tried to hide information from the public. Many also called for the resignation of Public Health Director Dr. Nirav Shah. Dr. Shah explained to lawmakers the complications involved in responding to outbreaks. The director of the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs said a long-term plan to address the issue will be completed by May 1st. Well, a great story out of the Quad Cities. For 25 years, June Rowell worked various jobs inside Moline's Tax Slayer Center. Her late husband, Jack, used to drive the Zamboni machine in between periods at the Quad City Mallards games. And June says she's always wanted to ride one herself. Well, on Sunday afternoon, her wish came true. June said it was a fun experience she will never forget.